What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Question, where you have the questions and I have the answers. And today we're doing the last and most recent part of how my relationship experience has informed my sexuality, especially with figuring out my asexuality. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So last we left off, it was the end of my first year of college. I'd started having some good experiences, but ultimately no lasting experiences, but I was starting to feel more comfortable and I guess accepted as an asexual in relationships, because it has always been a big fear that like people won't want to date me or won't want to be around me because I am asexual, and that's still something that I struggle with to this day. And my sophomore year, I think a lot of it was just like grieving and growing, and I started to come more in tune with my aromanticism and my non-binary identity a lot more, because people who were interested in me would approach me and it's like, okay, I'm asexual, and they're like, okay, well, what about other stuff? And it's like, okay, well, I'm also like not romantically attracted to you. And now that I know that this is something that I can be, I know what it's not, you know? I feel like when I was younger, I dated a lot of people because I felt like dating was the way to get like intimate friendship, intimate connection to people, to truly be seen by others. But now that I knew what romantic attraction actually was and what it felt like, I was like, oh, I actually don't feel that for the vast majority of people. So that's how I was able to better assert myself and articulate myself that, hey, I am demi-romantic. And this is something that I've kind of always been. But it was still hard because it, of course, put people off and everything. But also anytime I was like interested in somebody vaguely as like a concept or like as an aesthetic, people would be like, well, aren't you this? Aren't you this? Why do you feel this way? And I think now that's something that really affects how I perceive myself and my relationship with my asexuality and my aromanticism, is anytime I do feel like aesthetic attraction, platonic attraction, or even romantic attraction when it does happen, I have to be like, oh my god, am I actually this? Or was I just faking it? Or, you know, like, is this feeling actually valid? Or now I have this kind of platonic partner who I absolutely love and adore, and, you know, I'm really, really comfortable with them physically, so we do a lot of like sensual intimacy, we cuddle a lot, we touch, we do the things, and I asked myself, well, does this make me like less ace? Does this make me like not a part of the community? And the answer is no, it doesn't. I am still asexual because I don't feel sexual attraction to her. You know, I'm still very sex repulsed, but now I'm finding somebody who I can like be myself with and who accepts me and actually like explore things that I was ready to explore with my first relationship, but then I've kind of like, from the traumatizing aspects of that relationship, have kind of like hidden down and snuffed out. You know, but now I can consider these things and like work through them and feel them, and you know, it's good, it's wonderful, but now it's like I have a lot of conflicting feelings about like my identity and how I present myself as an asexual within the asexual community, but also outside of the asexual community. Because while in high school most of my friends were asexual, most of my friends in college are not asexual. So what their understanding of asexuality comes from both the internet and from me, and so a lot of times I've had issues, you know, presenting myself and being known as like the very horny asexual, you know, or being topic-wise very sex positive, even though in my like relationship and everyday I'm very sex repulsed, you know, and that's like hard for people to understand, and so it leads to me to be like really insecure and question a lot of, well, am I truly asexual if I feel this way? Am I, you know, like, and what if I'm not ace enough? What if I, you know, X, Y, and Z? And I feel like this is something that has been pointed out by numerous scholars and numerous members of the asexual community, of that we try to present ourselves, have this idea of like the indomitable ace, of like, they, you know, they're immune to all kinds of like attraction, they don't desire a relationship, or their sexual attraction or any kind of attraction is just above them, you know, kind of like a god or, you know, super being. And while that's a really funny thing to joke about, I feel like most of the people in the asexual community realistically don't fall into that category. Um, However, that's not what non-asexuals think of us, and that makes it hard. Anyway, back to my platonic partner. Um, I, yeah, I don't know where to begin. I am romantically attracted to her. She's not romantically attracted to me, which is what makes it a platonic relationship, not a romantic relationship. However, I'm fine with that. Which I think is also interesting. I think knowing her and everything helped me figure out more about my demi-romanticism, because I've known her for almost 2 years now. I think in like a few weeks I've known her for 2 years. And something I do is I try to like guess or picture that like Disney Channel romantic ending with everybody I meet. So I'll be like, oh, what if this is like the one and we get this magical like rom-com moment? And then I'm always like, no, not with this person. And I've done that with her like a dozen times, and I was like, okay, we're not romantically attracted to her, that's fine. And then like one day she walked into the room and my brain just like everything clicked, and I was like, oh my god, I need to like absorb her into myself. I need to just be like so crazy. I need to show her every single part of myself. I need to tell her all of the things about me that I've never told anybody. You know, I want to hear all the things about her that she's never told anybody. I just like cannot get enough of this person, is how I would describe it. Like, she became the sunshine of my life, and every single part of the day was better because she was in it. And it still feels that way in this platonic relationship, because it's, you know, and I call it a platonic relationship, and we call it a QPR, I think, in the aromantic and asexual community, because it looks different than the hetero traditional like best friend or friendship. You know, and I always have people tell me that, oh, well, you know, friends can do anything, platonic relationships can be anything that you want, you know, so it's like a best friend. But then it's like, you have to understand, with these labels comes this idea of like this set of norms. And so when I say, oh, this person is my friend, you get a certain idea of what the relationship looks like, which is why I'm like, this is my platonic partner, because then you get like, it's more, you know, like the things that the bond that I share with her, the connection that I think we have, is not one that I have with like anybody else. But it's not romantic, and we know that. You know, it's not sexual, and we know that. And but like calling it a friendship, knowing the connotation that a friendship has, and I know that we're working to change that by being like, what if we had like friend crushes and everything, you know, which is, I'm glad that it's catching on more in the mainstream, but I think queer people, specifically like ace arrow spectrum people, have cornered the market. Like, we have mined the depths of what platonic relationship and what all types of attraction can be. And so I am more towards the thing of, this is not something that can be used the same way that a friendship can. It is infinitely more, because it is something that we have made it. And just a friendship doesn't feel deep enough or rich enough of a description, which is why I say platonic partner. And yeah, I think it's been really helpful, honestly, for both of us to explore asexuality and attraction, and what different relationships mean and look like, and things that and impact attraction. Because I'm asexual and I know that, but like my comfortability with like regular kind of like physical contact, or even just sensual contact, also changes based off of how well I know a person, how comfortable I am with them. I'm pretty much like a cat, actually. I'm like a cat where I'm like, I need to like be around you for a long enough time, and then make sure the vibes are right before I go and sit on your lap or allow you to give me head scritchies. Which I think is so funny, because another thing that I love about her is that, I don't know, I never really feel like I belong with people. I never really feel like a real connection, I guess, with people. And so it surprises me when people like actually genuinely want me around. And so the whole time I remember I met her my first day of college, and I thought she was the most incredible person I'd ever seen. She was the president of the Queer Student Alliance, which I'm now president of, and I just thought she was extraordinary, and I was like, I need to become her best friend as soon as possible because she's the most amazing person ever. Like, the vibes were incredible, the fashion was incredible, and oh my god, her hair is beautiful. And this could just be turned into a channel about me praising her, but whatever. And then what I didn't realize until she told me like a year later is that she had thought like the exact same thing about me. And so the whole time she'd just been like, yeah, I was like seeking you out in the dining hall to try and like talk to you and sit with you. And I was like, oh my god, what did I do to get this absolute like goddess of a person to want to be my friend? That's so wild. And I don't know, it feels different, you know, like when you have those people, or maybe like family, who are like, yes, we love and we care about you and we appreciate you, but then like you don't believe them, either because you don't trust them or because like it feels very surface level. And then you find that one person where it's like they'll say anything and you're like, oh my god, like every single thing that has broken my heart ever has been cured. It's like that, like every single compliment, every single affirmation just sounds truer coming from her. And I hope to God every single day that she feels the same way about me, you know? And she says she does, but I'm still on the fence about that, but you know. So, yeah, I think honestly, just my experience with her has reaffirmed like my faith in myself, that I can be a lovable human being, that like good people can want to be good to me, and that I am not a disgusting little monster that I think I am, but also that I am capable of like so much more feeling and trust and depth than I also thought I was. And that my asexuality is not really an obstacle necessarily, that my aromanticism is not an obstacle in finding that deep connection, which I think a lot of people want, honestly. I think most people don't really want a romantic relationship. I think we just want to feel seen, like to our deepest core, you know, to feel seen and valued and loved, and to have like a deep, meaningful connection with a lot of people, or with at least someone, you know. And I think media has made it seem that that's only possible through romantic or sexual attraction. Like, I don't know how many people I've met in college who are like, oh yeah, the most intimate type of attraction is sexual attraction, and the most intimate kind of relationship, like sex is the most valuable thing you can do in a relationship. It's the closest thing you can do with somebody, which like everybody has their own opinion and everybody's different, and if that's how you feel, good for you. But also I'm like, aren't all of your other relationships so sad, you know? Like, is there no person that you would fuck around and binge watch an entire like 6-season show in 2 days with? Is there nobody that you could have like the worst fucking day possible and then go and like curl up in their arms and instantly feel better? Yeah, so I think it's just like it's healed my relationship with myself, with attraction, with people, and I think I definitely am a better person for it. And yeah, so before I start like sobbing or writing love songs or whatever, I'm gonna end this here and say thank you all for listening to my experiences. I hope that this was very valuable for you guys, and yeah, this is gonna be my last video for a while, just because I go back to college tomorrow, and while I try to upload videos while I'm at college, is college, man. I do not have the heckin' time to be doing this. So yeah, please, if you have any more questions, any more comments about what you want to hear from me, what you want to see from me, please leave them below and I will start working on those as soon as possible. I really love interacting with you, and I really love the tone that this channel is taking. You know, if people want asexual queer content, I will give you asexual queer content. If you want history facts, I will give you history facts. I have so many historical rants that I can go on both here and on my TikTok. So don't worry, I have a lot of content planned, even if you don't ask for anything. But really, thank you for letting me work through all of this and dredge up these memories again, because honestly, some of this I haven't thought of in a long time, and some of this I've thought of too much, and it means a lot to me that you guys want to hear about this. So, sorry that the summer is over, but here is to an excellent school year. May all of your dreams come true, and may your thoughts not plague you deep into the night. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.